introduce my audience is here. Again, the same audience. My husband and daughter and I. How many of you remember having to get up really early in the morning for school after staying up really late at night studying for the big test or doing a ton of homework and finally getting to go to bed around midnight, having to get up really early to catch a bus? I do. I used to get up at 5:15 in the morning to catch a bus at 6:15 to be to school at 7:30 in the morning. Usually, I wouldn't even get to sleep till at least midnight. I was exhausted, and by the time the big test came around, I couldn't remember anything. So I am proposing later start times for our kids to go to school, no earlier than 8:30 in the morning. Sleep deprivation is a big problem with kids. They have a really hard time absorbing information, even learning anything. It also can cause a lot of health problems, and it can cause mental health problems as well. According to the CDC, kids that don't get enough sleep tend to be overweight. They also suffer from depression and anxiety, and they tend to turn to drugs and alcohol because of all of the pressure and the stress that they deal with without getting enough sleep. They did a study with the University of Minnesota in the years between the years of 1996 and 2001, showing that students in the Edina, Minnesota school district were the first to incorporate starting times at 8:30, changed from 7:40 in the morning. And it showed that more kids were showing up for school, period. Attendance rates were way up. Test scores on the SATs, the ACTs, they were up. Graduation rates were much higher. More kids were going to college afterwards. And that school counselors and nurses were showing that they had less kids in the offices suffering from emotional issues and also suffering from any physical issues from their real exhaustion. Some parents, however, fight it because they feel that sports are more important, but academics come second to extracurriculars. So they also feel that bus traffic incorporated in with the traffic that for rush hour, that people going to work, that can cause more accidents. In fact, kids driving to school tend to get into less accidents because they're less tired behind the wheel, and it's actually safer for them. We also worry that the older children that cared for the younger children won't be there to help out, which means it costs them more money to get daycare for their kids, and also that the sports programs, like I said, would be more affected because the start times would be much later than they were before because of that 1 hour school change. That means they wouldn't be getting home until late, so they said that basically it defeated the purpose. I ask that you all come together and we try to fight for our children's well-being, their health, their academic standings, their and not worry so much about traffic concerns and extracurricular activities, and the fact that you just don't have a babysitter. It's really not a good enough excuse. We need to put our children first. Their health and their well-being are much more important than any of those other things, and it creates a much brighter and happier future for them and for all of us. And it's only 1 hour of a difference. They go to school an hour later at 8:30 instead of getting home between 2 and 3 o'clock. They get home between 3 and 4 o'clock. they still have time for extracurriculars. I'm not saying that they should go into extracurriculars an hour earlier, because that would really defeat the purpose. Thank you for listening.